First of all, are there any fans of the movie Jaane Bhi Do? All right, brilliant. I like it. So I know this session's going to be good. Now, I mean, as we all know, it was and it remains one of India's biggest cult comedies, and its fan base just grows every year. I know it's 30 years old, but its fan base just keeps growing every year. So today we are honored to have with us here the director of the movie himself, Mr. Kundan Shah, who will be coming up on stage in a bit. To welcome him here and take this session forward, I'm going to have to call up on stage the renowned film critic, Mr. Mayank Shekhar. Give it up for Mr. Mayank Shekhar, everybody.
Welcome to the W14.com conversation on India's cult cinema, as it were. And when it comes to comedy, I don't think that burden. Cult film, then Jaane Bhi Do. We have with us the creator of the film, and we're celebrating 30 years of Jaane Bhi Do. And this whole conversation can actually happen in language of Jaane Bhi Do itself. But I think we'll save you that burden. Ladies and gentlemen, Kundan Shah.
Thank you. That's Vanraj Bhatia's music. Huh? He worked very hard. See, we made this film in 1982. It got released in 84. And the music, you know, Vanraj Bhatia did it in 3 shifts. And that time the film had to project, you know, it was a film which had to, not digital. And the film would break, so many things would happen. So a lot of work Vanraj Bhatia did for this film.
Kundan, it's been 30 years, right? 1983, we're on the 30th year of Jaane Bhi Do. Frankly speaking, did you think that 30 years later you'd be sitting in a crowd with that many people who are huge fans of that movie?
No, we never expected. We never, in the wildest dreams, a director always, you know, has something, okay, what if this happens to this film and this scene comes out right? He can't go beyond a scene. And he thinks, yeah, it will be magic and all. But nobody expected this. One more thing, if we knew this film was going to become 30 years later something like this, we would have never had the courage to make it. You know, so that's it. You know.
Right, no, because one is when the film released, and one is when the film released. A whole lot of the audiences here who've seen it year after year on Doordarshan, a lot of them actually never saw it in the theater, including me. What was the reception like when it actually came out? Because at some level, at a basic level, it's a ridiculous film. Did you receive any reviews at the time or response that kind of questioned the lunacy of it?
No, I can narrate an incident. See, overall, the film, we made it, we never knew it was going to get released. This is produced by NFDC. And I guarantee you, nobody would have produced this film but NFDC. You know, because there was a producer called Gul Anand who made Chashme Baddur and Khatta Meetha and all. He was also a distributor. So he was almost going to buy the film. He saw the film number of times. A distributor sees it once, he sees it with his family, he sees it with his friends, and then he makes a decision he's going to buy the film. Ultimately, he was outbid by somebody else. But when he was going to buy the film, he called me and he said, Kundan, I'm buying your film, but if you had brought the script, I would have thrown it out of the window. You know, what he meant is you can't visualize the film on paper. Now, when it was released, there was a good preview audience, you know, the people kept on coming again and seeing it. I remember Manikal seeing it and I saw him laughing, which is a great feeling for me, Manikal laughing in a film and all. And we didn't expect much, but it did get released and it got fairly okay reception, you know.
So you didn't find too many people from the audience or in the press questioning any of the scenes at that time?
No, that one event I wanted to narrate, Satish Kaushik,
Yeah.
he was a struggler. He acted in the film. So when the film got released, he was staying with some relations of his in Bombay, and he bought tickets for them and sent them to see the film.
Oh.
And he is eagerly waiting now when they'll come back and give a feedback.
Huh.
So when they came back, he could see, but they had put up a brave face. They said, it's good. It's a good film. After some time, they said, but how can two people be talking in the same room? You know, how can two people be talking on the telephone? Then after some time, they talked about coffin. How can this happen? After some time, they talked about something else. So slowly, the whole film collapsed. Right. This is what happened with Satish Kaushik. But it was not released, you know, nurtured. I wish Gul Anand had released it. He would have nurtured the release. The people who released the film in Bombay did it more on a commercial level, you know. Right. You know, just like put it in and that's it, you know.
Take a scene.
और बिटिया अभी कैसी है मिस्टर बत्रा? और ये लीजिए मिस्टर ग्रोवर भाभी जी के फोटो. अच्छा वो. Right. Good morning.
Good morning. Very good. Very good. बहुत अच्छे. वाह साहब वाह. क्या composition है? क्या framing है?
वो क्या बात है मेरा?
मेरी बीवी वैसे देखने में बहुत मामूली है, लेकिन उन्होंने इसे इतना खूबसूरत बना दिया है. वाह. लगता है आपने फोटोग्राफी में कोई डिप्लोमा किया है?
जी नहीं, डॉक्टरेट.
डॉक्टरेट? ओह, अच्छा तभी इतनी खूबसूरत है. वाह, डॉक्टरेट किया है साहब. देखिए आप भी देखिए. किसी फिल्म स्टार से कम नहीं लगती ना?
तुम इससे खाना कितनी कॉपीज बना दूं?
20,000.
20,000?
20 हजार बाद में.
तो और कुछ मिस्टर लूथरा?
अरे आप मेरा पीछा छोड़िए.
मिस्टर लूथरा
साहब को अटेंड कीजिए ना. कब से खड़े हैं?
तो बताइए क्या खिदमत कर सकता हूँ आपकी? भाई साहब ले लीजिए आप.
लेकिन आपको फोटो नहीं खिंचवाना है. आप फोटो जरूर खिंचवाइए. मैं बता रहा हूँ, ही इज अ वेरी गुड फोटोग्राफर. बहुत अच्छे.
ये मेरे को तो क्या है उसके नहीं के लिए हो. हम तो आप कैसा फोटो खींचेंगे कृष्ण की सारी औरतें दिल थाम के.
मैंने बताया था कमाल के सेल्समैन. कमाल के सेल्समैन. आपको जाने नहीं देंगे. जाने मत देना.
नहीं जाने दूंगा. तो आइए इस तरफ आइए. स्टूडियो
चलिए लाइट चली जाएगी. चलिए अंदर.
आपकी नाक मोटी है उसे. चलिए आइए. मेरी बात तो सुनो. आप हमारी बात सुनिए. कहीं भी पैसा नहीं कमाया 3 महीने से. चलिए अंदर. चलो कैमरा से करिए. देखता फोटो कैसे नहीं खिंचवाता है. देखिए.
ओके रेडी.
हाय प्लीज. रिलैक्स. अब बोलिए मैं आपके लिए कितनी कॉपीज मंगा दूं? जी मैं इधर फोटो खिंचवाने के लिए नहीं आया हूँ. तो फिर किस लिए आए हैं? ये दुकान का किराया वसूल करने के लिए आया हूँ. जो आपने 3 महीने से मकान मालिक को नहीं दिया है ना वो. किराया. अरे किराया आप लेने आए थे तो मैं पहले क्यों नहीं बताया? आपने मुझे मौका ही कब दिया? मैं इतना बिजी रहते हैं हम लोग. मौका ही नहीं मिलता. इतने काम ध्यान ही नहीं रहता. आप ऐसा कीजिए आप चलिए. अब मेरे पार्टनर के आते ही चेक भिजवाता हूँ. ओके बाय.
Okay, so we see 2 photographers, that's your lead characters, and apparently they were based on 2 friends of yours from FDI who also set up a photo studio, which was the trigger for the whole film. Is that right?
See, we passed out in 1976 from the institute, and that time only, films division was there, which used to make documentaries, and you can't get documentary every year.
Right.
So the struggle was very grim unless you joined the commercial films, where Rishikesh Mukherjee used to have 18 assistants, Manmohan Desai used to have 18 assistants. The first 2-3 are paid, rest are all trainees. We knew a year before that the struggle is going to be very grim. So we had formed a commune, cinema commune. We called it cinema. And there were cinematographers, all students, sound recordists, editors. And we thought, where will we put up the base? So we thought of Hyderabad and we went there. And for Hyderabad Municipal Corporation, we made few 3-minute films, you know, against rabies, grow more trees, you know, the municipal motivational films. And the struggle started because we used to stay in YMCA and there was no money for breakfast, lunch, dinner. And the struggle was very, very, very grim. So slowly the people started abandoning the ship, including me. But 2 people got stuck there, Rajendra Shaw and Ravi Oja. And one is a film director, one is a film editor. But struggle, they went into still photography and finally they opened a photo studio. And they had all misadventures, that's all, you know. The life was very, very grim. So one day Ravi Oja came over to Mumbai and he was staying with me. He spent the night with me. And the whole night he was talking about what kind of life they were living, you know. And it was very sad, but we were laughing, you know. See, when you recall all about sad moments, you know, this happened, we were given this assignment, and what went wrong with that assignment, and you laugh all the time. So morning when I got up, I told him, this is inspiring me to make a film, you know, about 2 photographers who are struggling to make an honest living and what is happening to them. But that was the starting point. And then what was happening around in Mumbai at that time? The cement was rationed, the bridge really collapsed. I was a secretary of my building where the gutter water was leaking into the water tank. And when I went for the cement, because see, cement, that time you couldn't get in the market free. You needed a permit. So when I went for it, I remember there was an officer, his name was Parker, and he was sitting with his feet on the table. And I said, my children are drinking gutter water, you know, and the whole building, you know. And he said, so what, you know? How Bombay is drinking gutter water here? तुम्हारा cement होगा जब होगा यार ऐसा. So all that anger went into the film, you know, all that thing which was happening. That anger, see, it's based on anger. The film is, that's why, probably that's the one reason, you know, behind humor there is a lot of sadness. You know, that is what has made it work over a period of time.
Would you think that's one of the reasons why it still resonates among audiences?
Probably, I think. That's what happens, you know.
Right, because, you know, I mean, there's
I think comedies also have a very, very, very long shelf life. You know, Chaplin, and today, the contemporaries of Chaplin, those times, you know, Douglas Fairbanks, all action and major romantic couples and all, they've faded away. But the comedies have outlived, you know, everything. So the comedies have a very, very long shelf life.
Right. But you know, like one of the things, for instance, Naseeruddin Shah has mentioned about Jaane Bhi Diyara is that he considered it the most serious film of its time. I mean, there is an overarching theme of corruption. Within that, there is the complicity of the media, and there is the builder mafia. And both these things, in fact, over the years, have become bigger than they were in the 80s. Does
that's very sad, isn't it? I mean, the world we have given you people. See, we are at fault, but there's nothing we could do. In fact, as R.K. Lakshman said, the purpose behind his cartoons is to bring the misery out and remove the misery. Though he'll be out of business because he will have no more topics to write cartoons on.
Right.
But it is very sad that where we have reached. Very, very sad.
At some level, it's a premonition of the times that were ahead. I mean, like for instance,
not this dark. No. Every day, you think today is the limit, and next day's newspaper is more grotesque.
Right.
Yeah, every day's newspaper is more and more grotesque. I mean,
Right. I mean, about a decade and a half. About a decade and a half after Jaane Bhi Diyaro, for instance, there was a publication that started with sting operations, or at least became popular with sting operations,
Sunday.
and it was called Tehelka,
Tehelka,
which sounded a lot like Khabardar.
huh?
Which sounded a lot like Khabardar, right? At least in its name.
Tehelka, yes. Yeah, but of course, you are trying things in it repeated. Yeah,
Right.
but the elements, you know, see, we picked up what we felt was
Relevant to that moment.
Yeah, and later on, unfortunately, it multiplied. So Tehelka shouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the things multiplied, and
Right.
today it's worse. Yeah.
Right. The other thing, of course, is the slapstick nature of the
Yeah,
comedy
yeah,
itself.
that's where it differs. You see.
Right.
See, I have learned my basics in comedy from Film Institute. Now there are a lot of silent films. Now in silent films, what they do, once they set up a scene, see, they take a slight elaborate mechanism to set it up, but once they set it up, you know, it is gag, the building, it's like gag, building on gag, you know, and they make a pyramid,
Right.
you know, and then one, what do you call, trophy at the end, you know, as a conclusion, you know.
The cherry at the top.
Cherry at the
Right.
top. So, but all sequences are like that. Even this is built up, you know. Okay, a man comes and they mistake him as a customer. They are so desperate. And take him to its logical, you know, illogical end.
Right.
They make him into customer, take his photograph, what happens, X, Y, Z, you know.
Right, right.
So every scene is very long.
Right.
Jaane Bhi Diyaro has got very few scenes, you know.
Right.
If you see it directorially, before interval it has got just 11 scenes, and post interval it has got some 26 scenes or something. That's
Right. Should we see another scene?
all. Yeah.
Please come in. हमारा घर.
ओह केक जब से हम इंडिया में आया है सब केक खिलाता है जैसे हमारा कंट्री में कोई केक के सिवा कुछ खाता नहीं है हम केक खा खा कर थक गया हूँ फिर भी खा लेता हूँ
अच्छा लगा स्विट्जरलैंड का है. Thank you, thank you.
वेरी गुड ओह
ये क्या करता है? ये स्विट्जरलैंड का केक है.
हमारा अमेरिका में लोग खाता कम है फेंकते ज्यादा है बहुत मजा आता है
ओ, हम देखा.
तुम भी फेंको
हम
मजा आएगा
केक फेंकेगा.
फेंको मजा आया नहीं? ये बड़ा वाला पीस फेंको
बड़ा
वाला पीस फेंको जरा
पीस?
और मजा आएगा
बड़ा फेंकेगा?
फेंको 1 2 अब मजा आया अभी मत फेंकना हाँ?
सेलिब्रेट करेगा. ओके. केक खाओ. मेरा केक मेरे सामने मेरे दुश्मन को खिला रहा है. स्विट्जरलैंड का है. थोड़ा खाओ थोड़ा फेंको. मजा आएगा. फेंको. हाँ मजा आएगा. फेंको. हाँ मजा आया.
I think one of the things that is the underlying theme across. I mean, that was a very strong comment on consumerist culture.
Consumerist, yeah.
Thoda khao, thoda pheko. There's an American guy.
Even the slap, you know, that I told Nasir, give a hard slap to him. It was America slapping India, you know. It was like that, you know.
Right. But so were you very conscious of ensuring that while it's slapstick, it has a serious undercurrent because you had something to say?
Yeah, I told you it was a lot of anger.
Right.
It was, again, the important line here was, we constructed everything around it, but there a lot of food wastage there and the kind of poverty we are going through, so thoda khao, thoda feko.
Right.
Yeah, you know, that was the key which inspired this scene.
Right.
You know, so even the telephone scene, which is now pure slapstick,
Right.
was originally Margaret Thatcher ringing up Tarneja, you know. It's like Walmart ringing up whoever
Right.
in power and saying what's happening, why our stores are not getting set up and things like that.
Right.
So, you know, all that kind of thing. Originally it was written like that. But then we thought, we were slightly afraid whether it is working or not.
Right.
But original intention of telephone scene was
Right.
to make these comments, you know.
Right. But I mean, when you wrote the film, and I'm told. By the way, how much were you paid to direct the movie?
Oh, everybody was paid very well. I was paid 15,000.
15,000. And 7 lakh was the entire budget. 7 lakh was the full budget of the film.
7 lakh, yeah.
Right.
7 lakh.
And you were paid as much as the leading
I
star.
pitched Nasir with me.
Right.
So Nasir and I was the highest. Nasir was 15,000. I was 15,000.
Right. Because everyone else
Was-
were jobless actors at the time.
Yeah, they were struggling. Job, I mean, yeah.
Right.
But Ravi had done a lot of films. But in spite of that, he was paid 6,000 and he said yes. The rest of the actors were made categories, you know, like Pankaj and all were paid 5,000. Om Puri 5,000. Everybody 5,000.
But I mean, from what I've read about the movie, at some point you did start to question. You did start to question how ludicrous things are getting, and you wanted to add more logic because the actors' response to the screenplay and thought maybe you need to go back. Then you went to NFDC, they said stick with what you have and it's good enough. So you had doubts yourself whether this would really stick.
I can't claim any credit. I think I am the luckiest director in the world. If I ask you, who is the director of Chalti Ka Naam Gaadi, do you know? I think even Mayank wouldn't know who is the director of Night at the Opera. Marx Brothers. Or Day at the Races. Which director you ever remember of any comedy film? Tell me any comedy film and you tell me. Padosan, who is the director? You wouldn't know. Pyar Kiye Ja, who is the director? You wouldn't know. I'm the only guy who's known for this film. So I'm very lucky. Now coming back to this. Normally you need a lot of, you know, when you're attempting comedy, you need a lot of tact, technique, this, that, so many inputs, and which come if you've done comedy on stage. I've never been on stage. The only experience I had was I made a comedy myself, 20-minute silent comedy in the Film Institute. So I was that way not well equipped. Frankly speaking, when my actors told me, you know, there will be a lot of improvisation. I'm talking before Johnny with the Hero. I'm going to shoot Johnny with the Hero. And they're telling me a lot of improvisation and a lot of what you call spontaneity. I had no idea what these things meant. You know, how am I going to incorporate? But I had an instinct. I knew when a shot is dropping. I know when extra things are there. I had studied very intuitively in the institute, the masters, you know, very intuitive as an audience. No teacher, no analysis, no books, just learning and doing it, you know. I'll give you one more example of it. So I had no idea about this. And we didn't know Dharmendra is going to be so funny also. Really, we didn't know. So when they started questioning,
When the actors started questioning you.
when the actors and, you know, it was a group thing and the technicians, and they say, I think we need to put some logic here. No, it is not there. It is, so we started putting there. Then somebody said here, no, this also. So now the scene started becoming more elaborate. Now I had already submitted one script to NFDC. Then in the first draft there was no dead body. There was no dead body, which they approved. Then one day I got the idea of dead body and I revised the script and the whole second half changed. So I told NFDC that the script has changed. He said, how much it has changed? I said, the complete second half has changed. So they said, you have to resubmit it, you know. So I had to, it was a second application. It went again. Now I didn't want to go third time, you know. And there's 10 days left for shooting. And again they're going to approve means I had it, you know.
Right.
So I thought I'll play a smart move. I knew one of the script committee members. And that was my friend's father. Saeed Mirza's father, Akhtar Mirza. So I thought I'll go to him, very indirectly, you know, like having a chat. Just tell him we have changed this here, we have changed this here. And without submitting a script, I'll at least keep him informed so that tomorrow when the film comes, they don't pounce on me. But what happened was that he listened to me for half an hour, didn't say a word, you know. And then he said one sentence. He said, see Kundan, look, your script is like snow, so it is floating. You put all these logics, it will become ice, harden, and it will sink, you know. So then I went back and threw out everything, you know. That's all. I went and shot everything but I want to tell you that I was pretty inexperienced, you see. If that meeting had not happened, I was incorporating changes against me, but if that meeting had not happened, it would have been a different film, you see.
Right. But was it already very different from how you'd started out and then how it came in the edited version to what it actually released? Did it have a very long journey?
See, it changed a lot while writing dialogues.
Okay.
And that's where Ranjit Kapoor and phenomenal contribution. Ranjit Kapoor basically, and Satish Kaushik again,
Right.
you know, as important. In editing, it was very different, you know, the scenes were not much longer. The film we shot, the whole script, if this was the script, we only shot this much. 1/3 went out. 1/3 was not shot because we couldn't manage it within the schedule. While editing, the first cut was 3 hours 25 minutes. Edited, tight edit. We reduced 1 hour from there. But to reach that length, you know, editor and all, it was really very, very gruesome struggle, you know, getting each scene work, making each scene work, and patience of the editor and making the editor keeping the thing. So Renu's contribution was tremendous.
Right. I mean, the most one of the famous scenes that were not used in the film was going to be Anupam Kher's debut at some level, right? Anupam Kher was going to play a disco killer, which was a full-length character that had to go by the. Did he hate you for it? I mean,
no, he didn't. Maybe it was good for him because he got much bigger break later. But that was his debut film,
right.
And everyone wanted to do that role.
Right.
You know, Ravi, Nasir, they all said, we don't mind exchanging this whole film feature-length role for that 2-scene role. Right. Because that character was very funny.
Right.
We shot 10 minutes. That was the costliest scene I've shot in whole Janavdero, you know.
Right.
We had to go to China Creek to shoot it. And we shot that, and that was 10-minute edited length. And finally, we had to sacrifice, you know, we had to cut it, you know, because, I mean, the film was going like this, and for this scene, it made such a long detour,
Right.
and then went, you know.
Right.
So we had to cut, you know, we had to chop it out.
So did he hate you for it?
I think he was very, very disappointed, extremely disappointed, extremely disappointed. But he knew that we were taking the right decision. But in spite of it, I think he was extraordinarily disappointed. Yeah.
But you know, like given the cult status that the film has now attained after that many years, do you have those clips that you could perhaps no? It's all gone?
Nobody. We didn't know where it was there. You don't. At least thank us for making it. No, we can't keep what is not there.
Right.
It is all gone, finished.
That's sad.
That's sad, you know. We can't help it, you know. I'm not the producer, but they didn't know. No, see, they were struggling to make. You know, everybody. It was a struggle.
Right. One more clip.
Sure.
क्या सोचा तूने?
हाँ 5 करोड़
5 करोड़ 50-50 कर लेंगे, 2.5 तेरे और 2.5 मेरे।
सर एक्सक्यूज मी मेरा ट्रंक कॉल है वेरी अर्जेंट आप लोग बातें कीजिए मैं अभी आता हूँ जा जो कर
क्या सोचा तूने?
चलो चलो किसका फोन है सीक्रेट कॉल से सीक्रेट कॉल कॉल पर क्या है एल्बर्ट पिंटो को गुस्सा क्यों आता है समझ गया टाइम वाले का फोन है ना मैंने फोन पर देखा नहीं आप चलिए देख लीजिए आओ थैंक यू हेलो एल्बर्ट पिंटो हेलो हाँ
सारे खिड़की और दरवाजे बंद हैं?
हाँ, ठहरो, ठहरो। क्या हुआ? कुछ नहीं, गिर पड़ा था।
बहुत गिरे हुए आदमी हो तुम। मेरी बात सुनो, बहुत सीक्रेट बात है।
सीक्रेट? हाँ, बोलो, बोलो।
मैं खबरदार की एडिटर शोभा के बारे में कुछ बताना चाहता हूँ।
एडिटर, come on, come on, come on, उसकी जब मैं चटनी बना दूंगा, उसने मेरा बहुत खून चूसा है। उसके बारे में मुझे कुछ बताओ। हेलो, ऐसा नहीं, come on, एल्बर्ट, कहाँ चले गए? विंडो, विंडो, एल्बर्ट, सुनो। ये क्या हो गया?
ये सर, hold on, let me be.
One minute, please, मुझे दो, one minute. हेलो, विंडो, एल्बर्ट, देखो मेरी बात सुनो, एल्बर्ट, विंडो, हेलो, उसने मेरी प्लीज, हेलो, विंडो, विंडो, हेलो, यस, यस, कहाँ चले गए एल्बर्ट?
बाथरूम,
क्या कर रहे हैं?
शराब।
ओह, सॉरी, हाँ, हाँ,
मैं तुम्हें एडिटर
सॉरी विंडो, मैं गिर गया था।
एडिटर का नाम सुनते ही गिर गए।
अरे एडिटर उसका तो मैं कीमा बना दूंगा।
अरे वो तुम्हारा बेवकूफ बना रही है। गधे,
मुझे पता है।
उसने तुम्हारे टेंडर के फोटोग्राफ ले लिए।
टेंडर के फोटो
कमिश्नर के बंगले में
बंगले में कैसे?
खिड़की खुली।
ओह, हाँ, याद आया, खुली।
याद आया? और वो बाथरूम।
कौन बाथरूम? जब वो कर रहे हैं फोटो पे थे। प्रिया के साथ। ओ मेरे विंडो मुझे बताओ किसी तरह से चली। हे, मेरी कमरे में है। जो हमारी बात सुन रहा है। कौन? हमारी बातें सुन रही तुमने? मेरी बातें सुन रही तुमने? बहरे हो? ओके। पिंटू वो बहरा है।
मुझे मालूम है। और अब मैं जो तुम्हें बताने जा रहा हूँ उसे सुनकर तुम गूंगे हो जाओगे।
क्यों?
क्योंकि खबरदार की एडिटर ने अपने अजाल लोगों पर इतनी बुरी तरह डाला है कि अब तुम्हारा बचना मुश्किल है।
वो कैसे?
वैसे इस वक्त तुम्हारे घर में, तुम्हारी छत के नीचे, तुम लोगों के बीच एडिटर का सबसे बड़ा दोस्त और तुम्हारा सबसे बड़ा दुश्मन मौजूद है।
कौन? हेलो, लेकिन वो तो समझौता कर रहा है।
समझौता? हेलो,
क्या कर रही थी?
समझौता? अरे वो सिर्फ नाटक कर रहा हूँ। वो एडिटर से मिला हुआ है।
क्या सबूत है तुम्हारे पास? ये तेरा ऊपर
सबूत? नकली बालों की पहनता है। समझे? अगर तुम्हें वो टेंडर के लिए फोटो वगैरह चाहिए तो वो उसकी वही एंगेज है।
Thank you very much.
Okay, first quick questions. Why is Ashok Nambudiri Pal? Is it any direct reference to someone?
No.
No? Because your names are very interesting in the film. The editor is called Shobha.
Shobha
is named after Shobha Day, right? Then Sudhir Mishra, Vinod Chopra, named after. Why did you choose to name them these two?
No, actually, see, there's nothing great logic, They were, what do you call, when you're working out, you're not getting names.
Right.
So you put working, it's like working titles.
Right.
It's like working character titles,
Right.
And they stuck, they just remained, that's all. They remained.
Even the commissioner's name, no reference
Commissioner Ribello and all, that's all.
Right.
Some reference was there that
Ribello,
time.
De Mello
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah.
Right. This particular scene, which is one of the many iconic sequences from a film that had very few scenes to begin with, Nasir chose not to do it. He said he will not do this scene. Is that right?
Yeah, it was a bit difficult for him, to get into it. I'm also not very happy with many things. I can't tell you. I get extremely embarrassed to see it sometimes. But you can't change a cult, you know. You can't say this is wrong or that.
Right.
Yeah, that's a problem. But he had a lot of reservations in doing this film. And the other, Nasir is volcano, you know, on the set.
Right.
I mean, he can tell you himself.
Right.
But he made it very difficult. I thought when we went into the room, it's a very small room.
Right.
It's as small as this. You know, and it's quite cumbersome putting lights. So we had entered the room by 12 o'clock and I thought I'll finish by 2:30, you know. But it just didn't happen, you know. I mean, it was, he refused that the camera will get mixed up. So we had to shoot it differently, you know. It was not shot the way you see it. The first time, you know, he enters the room and the camera, they dash into each other and the camera, the telephone falls and they exchange the receiver. It was not there. Then lunch happened because everybody, there was kind of a funeral silence on the sets.
Right.
You know, nobody was speaking much with Nasir having just blown his top.
And he's the star of the film, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
and Nasir method and whatever. So I again went to him. I said, see Nasir, it's looking very nice from the camera. It's correct. Now let's retry and he knew he knew the basic ambience, I mean basic feedback on the set was that one should try.
Right.
I think it was necessary. The whole process was necessary, you know.
Right.
Then Nasir, we redid the shot with wires exchanging and all after the lunch. So then it just followed. And in fact, a lot of improvisations they did on their own afterwards.
Right. So of that many years, whenever someone meets you and they immediately connect you with this film, is this one of the scenes that they immediately talk about, or are there dialogue the most?
They talk about it, different people talk differently, you know.
Right. But what is the most common according to you that you get?
Mahabharat.
Mahabharat? Or thoda khao, thoda feko?
Thoda khao, thoda feko. This telephone, but these are the highlights of the film.
Right.
And the coffin scene and all.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you were also building a vocabulary of your own in the film that people always refer to. You know, I've been to bars where if the volume gets lowered, they say Shant Gadadhari Bhim. You know, like it has no reference to the rest of the film. Or you'll have Ullu Ka Pillu. I mean, it doesn't mean anything. Is that your dialogue writer just going nuts with the words, or?
No, Shant Gadadhari Bhim is, you know.
It is, yeah, it's just there.
Actually, these books are available on the pavements. When we were writing once we zeroed in on Mahabharat, how do we do it, you know? So Ranjit knows all this because he's from what do you call traveling theatre.
Okay.
You know, so they do a lot of mythologies, traveling theatre. So we go and, you know, these things are like the story of Shravan carrying his parents, Draupadi Chiraran. So the main incidents of Mahabharata and Ramayana are available as booklets, you know. So the complete Draupadi Chiraran was a booklet in which Shant Gadadhari Bhim and all the dialogues, complete dialogues were there.
From the comic book itself?
It's not a comic book. It's a religious book. You know, I told you, these are incidents. You see, it was not a comic book. We made it comic.
Right.
But these are, you know, जो ये मिलते हैं वो जो पाठ बोलते
religious
हैं.
literatures.
आप कोई pilgrimage पे जाएंगे, यहाँ जाएंगे, लेकिन यहाँ बम्बई में भी. I picked it up from Sion. Once he told me, I found out on Sion pavements this road, these books.
Right. I think we should see the Mahabharata sequence. It's only fair.
ये क्या हो रहा है दुर्योधन?
आप सुन रही है पिताजी? अर्जुन के पीछे ओए धृतराष्ट्र के पुत्र, द्रौपदी को वापस कर, वो मेरे साथ जाएगी.
शांत गदाधारी भीम, शांत. मैं उसे नाटक में.
ओए, द्रौपदी तेरी अकेले की नहीं है, हम सब शेयर होल्डर हैं,
मगर बड़े भाई के वचन का पालन करना ही पड़ेगा.
क्यों?
अभी नाटक में ऐसा लिखा है.
ओए चलो
पालन तो कभी हमने अपने बाप की आज्ञा का नहीं किया। तू चीज क्या है?
सावधान भीम, बड़े भाई का भय दरबार में अपमान।
ओए चुप है अर्जुन सिंह।
ये सब क्या हो रहा है?
भाई अर्जुन, ये तो तुम्हारी इंसल्ट है। अगर ये गधा गदाधारी है तो तुम भी धनुषधारी हो, रॉबिन हुड।
सावधान भीम, बड़े भाई से क्षमा मांग, वरना एक धनुष बाण तेरे सीने को छिल्ली छिल्ली कर देगा।
ओए तेरे धनुष बाण की ये ले 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 भर ले जा।
धनुष तोड़ दिया, 3 रुपए का नुकसान कर दिया। नहीं मिला गया तूने। डायरी कता नाटक नाटक, भाड़ में जा तुम सब। ये सब क्या हो रहा है? भैया
रोको इसे भीम, रोको इसे। दुर्योधन, क्या नाम है यार तुम्हारा?
अरे युधिष्ठिर,
रोको इसे।
और गधे भीम, मैं वचन दे चुका हूँ, द्रौपदी को छूने से पहले मेरा सर फोड़ना होगा।
अब मैं द्रौपदी को ले जा सकता हूँ।
ठहरो 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 ठहरो, द्रौपदी को कोई हाथ नहीं लगा सकता। ठहरो।
ओए ओए त्रिनेजा, तू किधर से आ गया? कहाँ से अटका?
नायक, अधर्मी, दुराचारी, भ्रमाचारी, भ्रष्टाचारी, बहुत सॉरी। तू मुझे नहीं पहचानता, अपने ससुर को नहीं पहचानता। मैं हूँ द्रौपदी का बाप द्रुपद। ये सब क्या हो रहा है? चलो बेटी हम चलते हैं, देखें हमें कौन रोकता है। बाबुलहजा होशियार, शहंशाहों के शहंशाह, बादशाहों के बादशाह जलालुद्दीन मोहम्मद अकबर तशरीफ ला रहे हैं। दिस इज टू मच। ये अकबर खड़ा दिया टपका। खंबा कहाँ से? द्रौपदी हमारी है। चलो उजाला लेके चलो।
हाँ जी, हाँ चलो चलो द्रौपदी जी। चुप
ठहरिए ठहरिए अब्बा हुजूर, ठहरिए। थामा हुजूर, मुगलिया सल्तनत के शहजादे सलीम के रहते हुए किसी की ये मजाल कि कोई अनारकली को हाथ भी लगाए। गुड मॉर्निंग सर। गुड मॉर्निंग अशोक। द्रौपदी किसकी है ये फैसला सिर्फ धृतराष्ट्र कर सकते हैं। न पांडव द्रौपदी के लायक है, न कौरव। ये द्रौपदी द्रुपद के साथ और मेरे साथ तीर्थ यात्रा को जाएगी।
Okay, this is possibly the most iconic scene in the last 30 years of Indian cinema. Take us through it. How did it happen? Yes, the Mahabharat scene.
This was the simplest scene to write.
Is it?
Because thanks to Ranjit Kapoor. See, that's the because he knew where the moment, the idea was first to zero in on what play to catch. What play do we take where these 9 guys are going to be after the dead body?
Right.
And how do we get it? The whole idea was to bring them on the stage.
Right.
So you have to maintain the decorum of the stage, and yet you have a dual purpose of getting the dead body.
Right.
And all 9 guys. So we thought, and finally we said there's nothing to replace Draupadi, you know. So once we zeroed in on that, Ranjit Kapoor told us to buy this book, and we wrote the scene pretty fast. Then it was just an orchestration.
Right.
Who is making entry when, you know,
Right.
and getting the whole thing established. The opening of the Mahabharata is a bit dull, you know, purposely, but it was very important to get the ambience in, you know.
Right. It's a very serious play
the
going
serious
on.
play going
Right.
on,
Right.
and suddenly you make the change, you know.
Where was the theatre? Where did
This
you
was at Chari Road.
Curry Road.
Chari Road, yeah, it's a Sahitya Sangh. We have given a credit.
Okay.
Sahitya Sangh, some word I'm missing.
Right.
But it's a regular theatre where Marathi, plays happen. And we had this, it was lovely for ambience.
Huh.
It was very beautiful theatre for ambience, you know, the backstage and there were a lot of backdrops readily available.
Right.
So we used whatever we could, you know.
Right.
All that.
But you know what's interesting, and it's a point that a lot of people tend to make. Here you were playing with religion, right? There is the unfortunate incident in Mahabharata concerning Draupadi. Then you bring in Akbar, the emperor. I mean, given the times we live in, rather more intolerant times in terms of everyone's sensibilities being hurt, did you have any apprehension about how anybody might receive it back then? Did it even matter?
Not, I mean, you would be much more apprehensive doing the same thing today.
Exactly, that's what
Much,
I'm saying.
10 times more, you know.
Right, right.
I'm sure Shiv Sena won't allow it.
Was it just a different time? Back then, religion was not such a...
No, we had one more license, NFDC, you see.
Okay, the government of India making it.
The government is being, that's why there's so many digs at the government, and it just got passed without a single cut.
Right.
But probably comedy gives you that license also, you know.
But you did you face any like you know how you have protests every other week for Hindi movies? If there is anything said about religion, somebody has a problem. Did you face anything at that time, or went under the radar?
No, not because it was not so strong, you know.
Right.
84 was, of course, that Khalistan had happened, you know, the whole movement and all.
Right.
Golden Temple, 84 it happened. But we, fortunate enough, probably I think that was one reason why nothing much happened.
Right.
Because the attention was diverted that side, you know.
Right.
The country had gone through a major purge.
Right.
You know, by the time the film got released in 1984 January. You know.
Right. But there was no apprehension when you were writing it, because now you might.
Now we will definitely have, but I think we had NFDC, and I thought comedy, even today we might dare,
Right.
because comedy, nobody takes you seriously, you see, that's good.
Right. You know, given the genre essentially is slapstick comedy, there have been many slapstick comedy films since Jaane Bhi Do Yaro. I mean, even like say a movie like Picha Karo, you know, that came out with Ravi Baswani in it, trying to what they call all-out humor or madcap comedy. Why do you think that none of those films stuck in the same way in public memory as did Jaane Bhi Do Yaro?
No, see, it's very easy. I've also done, you never talked about my other films, nobody does. But I've got equally crazy scenes in a Sunil Shetty film called Ek Se Badhkar Ek.
Right.
There are pretty crazy scenes in those, you know, pretty crazy. What happens is, in a comedy, the success and failure is, I mean, you have to see Jaane Bhi Do Yaro as a failure to appreciate it. We were all out to fail.
Right.
You know, it's very easy to tumble and fall, you know, very easy.
Right.
Even Chaplin, there's a video cassette, I think it must be available as a DVD also now, called Unknown Chaplin. These are all outtakes of Chaplin, which he didn't use, which you like say, do we have of Jaane Bhi Do Yaro?
Yeah.
But there's a long, elaborate sequence he has shot for City Lights, opening sequence. The opening sequence now is what they copied in Barfi.
Right.
Where, you know, that's the opening
The
scene
door,
of.
yeah, right.
But there's an elaborate opening scene which a huge set, you know, and I can't tell you, 8-minute scene he shot. 8-minute scene he has shot, and he has thrown it away. It doesn't work.
Right.
I mean, Chaplin can go to. Chaplin used to shoot a lot also.
Right.
His shooting ratio was pretty high, you know, and he would throw out a lot of things. So in comedy, it's very easy to, because you're trying out a lot of things, and you can fail, and success failure is.
Right, but also a lot of films that have been inspired by Jaane Bhi Do Yaro, even many years later, a lot of them are actually not very well known also. They didn't have an intellectual basis that kind of keeps, or what your writer said, a serious relief in the film itself. They were just mad out comedies for the sake of comedies. Could that be one of the reasons?
Yeah, that's one thing. Because to me, I personally interpret comedy as fighting for dignity. Like my enemy is too huge for me.
Right.
When I have to fight for my dignity, I have to fight for my right. And if I'm not getting it, what wits I'm using to get it. Get what belongs to me, what is mine.
Right.
You know, they are fighting to get their daily bread, that's all. That's why I've shown them eating kela and all. This is very important. If you go, not now, but if you, there, textile mills and all, when Bombay was there, you can find a lot of kelawalas selling kelas, because workers used to eat kelas. You know, they would eat 2-3 kelas, just that's their meal, you know.
Right.
And that's what I've shown. They are eating kela all the time.
Yeah.
Because they are fighting for their dignity. They are fighting for their bread. And if I have to fight for my bread, and when I use my wits and comedy to do that, to me that is more, you know, that is my thinking of humor.
Right.
I don't like smart aleck humor, you know.
Right.
That's why I don't agree with another cult. But it works. It's filmy, it works. Like Andaz Apna Apna. But it doesn't have this edge.
Right.
Which I'm not saying, see again, let's not mistake. You may have the edge and you may not have the humor.
Right.
So I might, in my next film, I say, okay, I've got the edge, but it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
It's a combination, yeah.
Right. Also, you can break this film down into various scenes and dialogue, and that's also one, because it's like Sholay. Why Sholay survives? Because every element can be remembered, like it is with Jaane Vidyar. Do you have a favorite one?
No, I like that, but I had a junior artist delivering that line. I didn't have actor. Ke goli chala do, sir. That was very nice. That is just before they're entering, na?
Right.
So they're all putting a face. The Ashok is saying, welcome to Ahuja in the corridor.
The guard.
And Ahuja is coming, and Ahuja's guard is saying, goli chala do, sir. Bola, nahi, abhi nahi, waqt aane par. So that, it was not delivered well and all, but there were a lot of asides like that, which was good.
Right. Also, everyone who worked in the film, and that's what also makes it a landmark movie, went on to do various things in the film industry right after. So in that sense, were you lucky that you were surrounded by some really fine talent as well?
Starting with Ranjit Kapoor.
Right.
Because a lot of casting has been done by, he has recommended, like Pankaj Kapoor.
Right.
Kaushik came into, I mean, he had come to me for a role, but it happened more, the whole thing got more depth because of Ranjit Kapoor. So a lot of actors came in because of Ranjit. He has done stage.
Right.
So a combination helped a lot.
Right. Also, Om Puri was a last minute replacement, right? Om Puri wasn't going to be in the film, and that you needed, because Vinod Nagpal was supposed to play the character.
Vinod Nagpal was playing Tarneja.
Right.
Pankaj Kapoor was playing Ahuja. Vinod Nagpal suddenly had a commitment for a Money Call film. So last minute, so we didn't know what to do. So we thought we'll bring in Om, but Om was not fitting as Tarneja. So we promoted Pankaj, who was looking young, you know, and promoted him into Tarneja and brought Om Puri into Ahuja's role.
Into Ahuja's role. And Om Puri had never done a comedy role until then?
He had done on stage.
Okay.
And stage, Bichu he had done.
Okay.
Bichu is Molière. And if you know Molière, Molière is hardcore comedy. People shaking on the, you know, I mean, entry, exit, extraordinarily demanding. If you can do Molière, it really makes the actor, you know, go through a major experience, you know.
Right.
So he had done Bichu,
right.
Molière's play. And a lot of slapstick and this and that and your voice throw and up and down and all that. And he had carried it.
I mean, later Om Puri became known
But his timing was all wrong in this film. I had a major problem.
Yeah?
Because he was not getting into the groove very fast. He got it into the last scene, Mahabharat scene.
Right. But then, you know, he sort of used that aspect of his personality later in his later films as a comedian. I mean, he did a lot of stuff even on television and in films.
He's a wonderfully round actor. He's one of the most, that's why he has got grace. He can get into any role as a villain, as a antagonist, as a protagonist, as a Shakespearean character, as anything. Om is a beautiful actor.
Right. One more question on casting is, Aparna Sen was supposed to be the original choice for Bhakti Bharve. How did that not work out, and how did you choose? Because, I mean, even after
she had directed a film by that time. I think
she'd already turned director by then?
I think so.
Okay.
The first film of her?
36 Charangi Lane?
I think it had happened. I
Okay.
think it had happened.
Right.
I'm not sure. I think. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but whenever you see, it's very difficult to narrate this film. If Gul Anand is not going to buy the film by reading it, how do I narrate a film like this? So she fell asleep.
While you were narrating it to her.
Normally people do. Because it's damn tough. So, but she said yes. But next day she backed out for some, because it's not easy.
Right.
It's not a tough. It's not easy. It's not easy to see the film. Bhakti was that way. Bhakti Barve was a great stage persona.
Right.
And for her to say yes to a role was very good.
Yeah. One last scene before. Yeah, one last scene.
अब मैं श्रीवास्तव साहब से कहूंगा कि हमारे स्वर्गीय कमिश्नर साहब के बारे में 2 शब्द कहें और ये पुल उनकी याद में समर्पित करें। मिस्टर श्रीवास्तव। डिमेलो साहब के बारे में जो कहूं कम है। उन्होंने एक ही मोर्चे पर इतना महान काम किया और जिसके लिए वो अमर हो गए, और वो मोर्चा है गटर। डिमेलो साहब अक्सर कहा करते थे, किसी देश की उन्नति की पहचान अगर किसी चीज से होती है तो वो है गटर। वो गटर के लिए जिए, वो गटर के लिए मरे। मरते मरते उनके आखिरी शब्द थे, गटर। हम उनकी याद में एक दिन के लिए शहर के सारे गटर बंद कर देंगे। इसलिए आप लोगों से प्रार्थना है कि आप लोग पीने का पानी एक दिन पहले ही भर के रखें। ईश्वर उनकी आत्मा को शांति दे।
Well, we know where this scene comes from now, right? It's from you being the secretary of a building. This scene comes from you being the secretary of a building and knowing that your water is going to be mixed with gutter water, right?
Yeah, the whole gutter track.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
There are 2 things I want to say.
Yeah.
This man who said this speech, Deepak Kazir, he was a production manager. So he was looking after lunch and all, and suddenly I tell him, come and give you a shot.
Right.
And he's so good,
Yeah.
You have to see that, you have to admire that. So he's doing production and he's doing it. Number 2, we went slightly overboard, but I cut it there. See, we have to keep, his last words were, the original dialogue is, hey gutter, hey gutter, hey gutter. If you get a reference, it is Gandhi's last words, hey Ram. But we cut that. When Gandhiji died, when he said, hey Ram.
Right.
So we cut the hey thing,
Right.
because we said, let's keep something sacrosanct,
Right.
Very important.
Nothing else was though.
No, see, like I'll tell you, Vinod and Sudhir, I told them, whatever may happen, you are you are the protagonist through whom we are talking about honesty. So whatever comedy happens, but there is certain dignity they have to maintain.
Right.
That pain is coming through them, whatever comic wavelength pain,
Right. Right.
So that is very important.
Right. One last question, Kundan, and this is a question that was asked to Joseph Heller, to the writer Joseph Heller. They asked him, why is it that that nobody's written Catch 22 again? And he said nobody else has either.
There are 2 answers I'll give you.
Right.
I've written many Janam Heroes. I think I get I can't tell you how much embarrassed I feel.
Okay.
When I see, because I can do better, but probably not, let's say. But I've written.
Right.
I've written umpteen number of scripts. They don't happen for some reasons. Number 2, there's a quote from Krishnamurti. It's no sign of health to be well adjusted to a sick society. So, I'm trying my best. Whether I am wrong or things are wrong, I don't know. That's all I can say.
Right. I'm sure. I know that you're working on a sequel.
Yeah, we have written. It's written. But it's much more political.
Right.
The least important character, Kamdar, Bhakti Barwa's assistant.
Right.
It's all gone political. The whole scenario shifts to Delhi.
Right.
And he's the prime minister. And they all become big tycoons and all that. So it's on.
This is looking 25 years ahead from
30 years.
30
When
years.
they come out of jail, they're coming out of jail, and,
Right.
and what happens?
Right. We really hope that movie gets made, Kundan.
Let's see.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming. Kundan Shah, ladies and gentlemen.